A team news check for both teams, and Liam Rosenior said he's always going to play as strong a hand as possible, even though there's nothing really riding on this game for Hull City, as I say, except pride. One change, Ryan Longman dropping out of the team from the bench, and in the starting 11, Ozan Tufan comes back in to replace Dimitros Pelkas. So Darlow in goal, Coyle, McLaughlin, Greaves and Elder, Seri, Slater, Syed Manesh, Traore, Tufan, and playing out wide on his home debut today after impressing in his first two outings, young Harry Vaughan getting the chance to impress in front of the MKM crowd for the first time. The bench for the Tigers, Matt Ingram, Greg Doherty, Dimitros Pelkas, Ryan Woods, Xavier Simons, Malcolm Ebue is back in on the bench, and Alfie Taylor. Caposelli in possession. And then it's moved away from that left-hand touchline this time. In the middle by Kone into Sarr. Once again, now trying to dance away from his marker. And it will be a ball into the midfield for João Pedro. Pedro in the D of the penalty area. Ryan Andrews advancing forward. He's never scored a goal. He's trying to trickle past Jacob Greaves. And the ball then broke to João Pedro, who fires over the crossbar. But Watford have shown good intensity in the opening 6.5 minutes. That's the first flash of a goal, or shot I should say. And João Pedro, top scorer for Watford with 11. He's going to need to just take a little bit off his next attempt for it to stay under the crossbar. Seri will now try and keep Hull City's attacks moving as Elder plays wide towards Harry Vaughan. Tufan is coming across to him on the left side of the penalty area, but Vaughan trying to step away from Ismaila Sarr. Plays it back to Elder. Presented again to Vaughan. Couple of touches from him. Tries to deliver into the box. Headed away by, this time, Leandro Bacuna. Now to Callum Elder on the left back position. Slater. Was he tricked from behind? Yes, he was. Oliver Langford says Ismail Kone tripped him. And now Hull City can lift the ball into the penalty area from a free kick. Vaughan will overstep the ball and Coyle will play short to Seri. Seri lifts it into the area where Callum Elder diving across from the right-hand side, but he can't steer the ball across goal for someone, and it drops behind. But Callum Elder is very much in the attacking frame and has an attacking mindset, it would seem, in the early parts of this match. Elder will have the ball in his hands to the left of Chris Wilder's penalty area. His throw-in is taken over Slater's head. Traore not alert enough to then get onto the last man, but the ball is sent away up towards Coyle on halfway, allowing Hull City to restart. Coyle trying to play it down the right side. Traore looks to have taken a tumble and is rolling around on the ground. Hull City will play on, and there's a pocket of space on this left-hand side. Tufan goes the other way, but it's still going to come to Harry Vaughan. Clever flick, Slater pulled across. Now surely that's a penalty, and it's given by Oliver Langford. Slater tried to check back inside the box, and the momentum of the challenge brings him down, and there's very little complaint from those in Watford colours. And Ozan Tufan has got the opportunity against his former club to make it 8 for the season in front of the North Stand. No question that it was a penalty. Ozan Tufan with literally thousands singing his name as he stands over this penalty kick. Oliver Langford blows his whistle. It's Tufan against Batchman, and Tufan dispatches it. He makes it 8 for the season, and he doesn't celebrate too much, given he was a former Watford man, but he allows everyone to congratulate him. And Hull City have taken the lead here at the MKM Stadium. Goals have been quite sparse in the first half of matches at this stadium, but Hull City have something to celebrate now. Ozan Tufan wants to get to double figures, and he's now only 2 away. It's Hull City 1, Watford 0. Kamara will have possession over at left back, and Kamara will hold on to the ball over at left back. How do Watford now react to falling behind, given they are 8 games winless away from home? And Watford, with this result, would mathematically be out of the running for those playoff places. I think plenty had them to be up in the top 6. I certainly did, given some of the personnel they've got on paper. But there's plenty of time to go as we are into the 29th minute, and Watford could have an equaliser as Pedro trying to latch onto a awful bit of control in the back play by Hull City, and Pedro chips over the top of the crossbar. A few pulling up of the socks and bootlace checks from McLaughlin and Coyle, who nearly had a bit of a moment in the back play. Pedro was very quick to get onto a misdirected header in the penalty area. Capacelli to Kamara. Ball was just behind him, even though it was a 5-yard pass. He did enough to stretch out and control it as Watford play the ball around their back line as they're trying to get themselves up the pitch, but they're only going backwards as Batchman will now clear the ball away. Underneath it is McLaughlin, well played by him. Seri in the centre circle, now to Regan Slater, immediately to Tufan, one-touch pass to Traore, who spots Slater, little 2v1 perhaps, but now Slater will hold on to it, gives it to Tufan in the area. Vaughan is unmarked, Vaughan on the left, now trying to play it back to Tufan, little side football to Regan Slater, comes out to Seri, who's going to play it across the edge of the box to Coyle. He can deliver, looking for Tufan on the header, but over the bar. It would have been a free kick anyway. And Daniel Batchman, the Watford goalkeeper, having a little shout at his back four as well. But Tufan looks very hungry and very up for this. He looks as though he's a player who's unsatisfied with just the one goal. The ball will be played forward by Imran Louza. Will now play to Ryan Porteous. Porteous going across towards Hassan Kamara. Kamara down the line towards Ken Sema. Will now play to Kamara again in field to Kone. Now for Louza again in the green boots, charging at the box from the centre. 3 around him in black and amber. Ball's going to pop to João Pedro. Pedro through traffic will force a save, this time from Darlow. And the ball fed its way nicely into Pedro's position. Just to let you know what happened in League One earlier on in the first half, Barnsley lead by 2-0 against Oxford United. Peterborough 2-0 down at home against Ipswich. Plymouth lead against Cambridge United, and Sheffield Wednesday are behind at Hillsborough against Exeter. Coyle concedes a free kick as Pedro got a tackle off him. Coyle's unhappy though. And he lets the referee, and he also lets João Pedro know his feelings as he makes his position clear as he wanders back into the penalty area. Here comes the free kick. Louza will deliver from the left side, met by Pedro. João Pedro though can't steer it goalwards. And just the immediate aftermath of them missing the opportunity, they're just walking back, Watford. They don't really seem that bothered that the chance has gone. Long ball away by Carl Darlow, headed by Watford. Doherty then tries to pick up the pieces in midfield, but Yasser Espria will collect. Ball's played across to Ryan Porteous, playing it through towards Davis. Clever through ball. Sarr tries to chip Darlow. He's got a hand to it, and he has steered it wide of the goal. That's a big, important save, and Watford unlocked Hull City that time. In a game of very little full chances, one is presented to Watford in the 83rd minute, and Ismaila Sarr did almost everything right. Cabaselli going long, down the middle. Ryan Porteous is up there as well, but it's well commanded by Xavier Simons, and Malcolm Abue, strong touch away from Cabaselli. That is the final piece of action, and Watford and their season looks all but over. It was for Hull City at the start of the season. Whether going up or going down was the question. Hull City though have tamed a team who were relegated from the Premier League last season at home, and they keep their incredibly strong home form alive with 2 games left to play. They've got 1 more game to keep that run intact to take into the next season, and they needed just a penalty today from former Watford man Ozan Tufan to be the difference between these 2 teams. It is pats on the back. Hull City delighted. It wasn't the best of games, let's be truthful. Wasn't much goal-mouth action for the Hull City fans. The 20,000 of them who turned up will at least enjoy the fact that they have watched Hull City win today by 1 goal to 0.